Happy morning, students. Welcome to grade 6 English class. Children, today we are going to learn our third unit, prose. The title is Taro's Reward. Look at the spelling, T-A-R-O, Taro. Then apostrophe is there. Yes, Taro's, the boys. Taro's Reward, R-E-W-A-R-D. Taro's Reward. The name of the boy in this prose is Taro. Okay, Taro's Reward is our third prose, that is from unit 3. This story, that is Taro's Reward, is the prose, or you can say as an interesting story. In this story, the name of the boy, the Taro, that is Taro's Reward. The story is a popular fairy tale in Japan. This story involves the story of a son, Taro, who wanted to fulfill the wishes of his father. Children, take page number 29 from your honeysuckle book, that is the third unit prose, Taro's Reward. Listen carefully the story, children. This is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and gets some unexpected help. So this story is fully about the boy Taro, and then it is a popular story also in Japan. This story is fully, or you can say yes, it involves the story of the son, a wonderful son, Taro. The boy Taro wanted to fulfill the wishes of his father. So here the hero of this story is Taro. Now let's see the story of Taro and how did he get reward. Now look at the first paragraph, children. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long, he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. So listen, children. Here the name of the boy is Taro. He wanted to fulfill his parents' wishes, that is especially his father's wish. Listen, a woodcutter named Taro lived with his father and mother on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked hard, he earned very little money. The name of the boy is Taro. He lived with his father and mother on a lonely hillside. Near the hillside, the boy lived with his family. That is, he lived with his father and mother. All day long, he chopped wood in the forest. He is a woodcutter, the person who cuts wood and sell it. So that person is identified as woodcutter. All day long, he chopped wood in the forest. The boy Taro chopped wood in the forest for all the day. Though he worked hard, he earned very little money. Though the boy Taro worked hard, but he can only earn very little money. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. Look at this image, children. Taro is a young woodcutter, a young boy. He is a woodcutter, that is a person who cuts wood in the forest and sell it. So here the boy Taro lived with his old parents on a lonely hillside. That is, he lived with his father and mother. He does not earn a lot from his work. So it upsets him to not be able to give his parents a better life. Even though he worked hard, he can earn only a very little amount. So with that little amount, he can't live a happy life. He felt very sad. The entire family was in a poor condition. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting on a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of shake. It would warm me and do my old heart good. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. Listen, children, Taro is the name of the boy. He lived with his old parents near the hillside. Even though the boy is a woodcutter, even though he worked hard, he can earn only a little money. So they were a poor family. One evening, when the boy Taro and his old parents, that is his father and mother, were sitting in a corner of their hut. Being a poor family, they have only hut. So they sat in the corner of their hut. A strong wind began to blow. During that evening, the father and mother and Taro were sitting in the corner of their hut. A strong wind began on that evening. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Here listen, children, it whistled. Whistled means the sound. Whistled through, look at the meaning here, passed through with a whistling sound. The sound which we can hear during the wind blowing sound, we can say it whistled. The wind blow, that the wind produced some sound through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. The chillness, they found chillness, they felt very chillness. It was very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sap. It would warm me and do my cold heart good. So listen, children, when Taro and his father, that is a father and mother, were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow that time. They felt very cold. Then Taro's father, the boy Taro's father, had a wish. So he had his wish was to have a cup of sap. Sap is a popular Japanese drink. Again, sap is a Japanese drink, a popular drink. During the rainy season, how do we feel? Yes, we feel to drink a hot cup of tea or coffee along with some snacks. The same feeling was started with Taro's father's heart. He wished to have a cup of sap. It would be warm him. It would become warm him, somewhat warm him. That is somewhat hot to his body. And do my old heart good. That is for his heart. It will be somewhat good, somewhat hot, and also he feels somewhat good. Again listen, children. Taro was a poor boy. He earned money by chopping woods from the jungle. But the boy earned only very little amount, or I can say yes, very little money. But the money he earned was not sufficient for him and his parents. One day, a wind started blowing there. It started blowing cold winds. All people in the home, that is his father, mother, and himself, felt cold due to wind passing from the cracks of the wooden house. His father wished if he could have some sake to energize his heart. Sake is a popular and costly drink of Japan. It is a popular drink which will make his heart to be somewhat better, somewhat hot and also better. Look at the next third paragraph, children. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the hot warming drink called sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So listen here, children. This father is Taru's father wished to have the drink, that is a Japanese drink, shake, which was very expensive. So here the boy felt sadder. The boy Taro, on hearing the words of his father, that is his father wished to drink the shake, whereas his son, that is Taro, was not very much rich boy. He was poor, but he want to fulfill his father's wish. He thinks and feel very sorry for himself that he can't give the sake or he can't fulfill the wish of his father. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the hot warming drink called shake was very expensive. This was very expensive drink. So how do I earn more money? To get this drink, he want to work more and more. So he himself asked the question, how do I earn more money? That is how he could able to get more money. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? That he is not expecting to have more, but a little amount he want to give to his father. That is little amount of this drink he want to give to his father. So the boy Taro decided to work harder than before. Already the boy Taru is a hard working boy, or you can say is a hard working woodcutter. To fulfill his father's wish, he decided to work harder than before. Taru was sad as he did not have money to buy the expensive drink. So the boy Taru decided to work hard. Now look at the fourth paragraph, children. Next morning, Taru jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. To fulfill his father's wish, the boy Taro, by the next morning, jumped out bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. To complete the wish of his father, the boy Taro wake up early than usual and he went to the forest. The boy Taro chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was warm that he had to take off his jacket. This boy Taro, to fulfill his father's wish, he came early to the jungle to cut the woods, and he continued his job by cutting the woods. That's the chopped and cut. Again the boy chopped and cut. The boy continuously doing his work as the sun climbed. And soon he was so warm. The boy Taru being working from the morning, he was so tired and he was so warm that made him to remove his jacket. The boy wears the jacket when he started to do his work. When the time has passed, he became so tired and his dress also became so chilled, and soon he was so warm. The boy became so warm that made him remove his jacket. Then his mouth was dry. The boy's mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. Okay, the boy's face was fully with sweat because he is working from the morning again and again repeatedly he is chopping the wood, he is doing his work. And then he thinks about his father. My poor old father, he thought, that is, he thinks about his old father. If only he was as warm as I. That is, now the boys, how's the boy's appearance is, the same way his father should be become somewhat warm, because they live in a hut during the climate, there is a chilled climate. His father want to drink the shake, he want to become a warm, his heart should be become warm. So he continues to continues to cut the wood. And with that he began to chop even faster and faster. The boy started to cut the wood again and again, faster and faster. Look at the fifth paragraph, children. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it possibly be rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hands and he ran in the direction of the sound. One day, Taro's father wished for a cup of shake. Taro felt sad as the shake was very expensive drink and he did not have enough money to buy it. So he decided by himself to work harder. Next day, the boy Taro worked harder in the forest by chopping the woods, which made him thirsty towards the end of the day. He worked hard. Again and again he cut the wood to earn money and to fulfill his father's wish. So he became very sweat, and with that sweat he can't complete his work. So he removed his jacket, and then the boy Taro stopped chopping because he feels somewhat thirsty. And then he heard a sound of rushing water, a stream water. But he felt shocked that there were no rushing water, or you can say as a rushing stream, in that part of the forest, because he was a woodcutter. He works hard in the forest for long days, or you can say yes, for many years. But still now he didn't hear the sound of rushing water in the forest. He became very thirsty. So he left the axe which was in his hand and he ran. The boy Taro ran in the direction of the sound. That is the water sound. He ran to that direction to fetch some water. Look at the sixth paragraph, children. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it shake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious shake instead of cold water. Here, the boy Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. The boy became very thirsty. He worked again and again. He cut the woods again and again. He chopped it and cut it. So he became very tired and sweat also. He became very thirsty. So he felt to drink water, but there was no water with him. And then he heard a sound of a running water, or you can say a rushing water, a stream, a rushing stream. He heard the sound of water. The boy Taro dropped his axe and he ran in the direction of the sound of water. There he saw a beautiful little waterfall behind a rock. See children, the picture, there is a beautiful waterfall is there, which is behind a rock is there. It is behind the rock. The boy Taro, kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. On seeing the waterfall, he became very surprised and he kneeled down there and he drank a cup of water in his hands. That is, he cupped a little water in his hands and put it to his lips. He was very much confused whether it was water or something else. The water was very tasty. He has never drank like that in his life. So he was confused and he thinks himself that it was the water or was it shake. Shake means it is a Japanese drink. It is an expensive drink, a costly drink. He thinks himself. So he tasted it. He tasted the water again and again, and always it was the delicious shake instead of cold water. So the taste is fully about delicious shake only. It is not a cold water. So to clarify his doubt, he drank the water again and again. It tastes like the Japanese drink, an expensive drink. Look at the 7th paragraph, children. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the shake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. The boy Taro drank the water from the falls and he was confused whether it was the shake or the cold water. Finally, he understood that it is a tasty and expensive shake only. So he quickly filled the pitcher. Here pitcher means pot. His pot he had with him and hurried home. He filled the pot fully with that shake and he hurried home. Hurried means he rushed home. The old man was delighted with the shake. He gave the shake which he got from the forest to his father. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering. His father was an old man. From the cold wind, he was shivering. And then after he swallowed one little, that is a one drop, or you can say yes, he can swallow the liquid. When he swallowed the liquid, he stopped shivering. The old father stopped shivering. Shivering means the shaking of his hands because he was a old man due to the climatic condition, the cold climate. His hands and legs were shivering. On drinking the water, it was stopped. The shivering was stopped. He had stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. So, on working hard, the boy became very thirsty. He followed the sound of water. Soon he found a waterfall behind the rock. He went near to the fall and put his hand in the water. To his amaze, he discovered that water was not water but shake. He became happy and filled some shake in his pitcher. Pitcher means that is a pot. He filled water in his pot and he hurried to home. Upon reaching the house, Taro gave this shake to his father. The father sipped the shake and started dancing with joy in the middle of the floor. Now look at the next point, children. That is the 8th paragraph. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the shake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she spread the story throughout the whole village. On seeing a pitcher full of shake, Taro's father gets very happy. He takes one sip and stops shivering. After that, the old man starts dancing to express his happiness. On the same day, a visitor, or you can say a neighbor from the village, came to their house. They offer, that is Taro's family, offer him the shake and tell her about the magical waterfall. Thus the story starts to spread all around the village. The neighbor came to Taro's home. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the shake. The lady drank it and thanked the old man for this drink. Then Taru explained everything what was happened, and also he explained the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, the lady left Taru's home in a hurry. The lady said thank to the whole family and she left the place in a hurry. By nightfall, the lady spread this news to all over the village. The lady, the neighbor, Taru's neighbor who drank the shake, had spread the story throughout the whole village. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the shake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. So the lady, that is the neighbor of the Taru family who drank the shake, spread the story or spread the news throughout the village. That evening itself, there was a lot of visitors came to Taru's home. That is the woodcutter's house, means here refers to Taru only, woodcutter's house, to know and drink of the shake. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the shake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. So everyone came to the Taru's home to drink the shake and to confirm whether it is a shake or cold water. So the Taru's family gave a little water to, or can say as a shake to everyone, and in less hour the pitcher was empty, the pot was empty. Everyone in the village drank that shake and the pot was empty at once. Look at the 10th paragraph, children. Next morning, Taru started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic shake. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and again and then shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water." Others also tried, but there was no shake, only cold water. Taru's neighbor spread the story to all around the village. Everyone from the surrounding villages starts visiting Taru and the pitcher empties in an hour. By the next morning, all the villagers rushed to the magical waterfall even before Taru. However, it tastes nothing like shake but simple cold water. This angers them and they all wish to drown Taru for spreading lies and cheating them. By the next day morning, Taru went early to the forest and also he carried a largest size pitcher with him to fill with a shake, or you can say as the water from the waterfall. When the boy reached the place, he got surprised. He found all his neighbors were there, that is near the waterfall. They all carried a big size pot or jars and also buckets. Anything they could find hold the magic shake. To fill the magic shake, the whole villagers were stood up near the waterfall with the largest size pitcher, jars and also buckets to fill it. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink it. Among the villagers, one man drank the water and he found that it was only water. He drank again and again and then he shouted angrily that this is only water, nothing but water. This is only water, nothing else. Others also tried this, but there was no shake. It was only the cold water. Look at the next paragraph, children. We have been tricked, shouted the villagers. Where is Taru? Let us drown him in this waterfall. But Taru had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found. The next morning, Taru again woke up early, searched the biggest pitcher, and went to the waterfall. To his surprise, he found that other villagers were also going to the fall. Soon people reached the fall and tasted the shake, but they found that water of the fall was not shake, but it was only the plain water. People became angry and decided to drown Taru in the fall. Taru hid behind the rock and waited till all the villagers went home. Now look at the 12th paragraph, children. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taru came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the shake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine shake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious shake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. Taru hides in the forest to escape from the villagers. When they leave, he goes again to taste the liquid, and it still tasted like good old fine shake. Thus, it becomes clear that the magical waterfall offered shake only to the cleverest, or can say as peaceful boy Taru. Now look at the last paragraph, children. The story of Taru and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taru. This said, the emperor was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. The story of Taru and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. So listen here, children. The boy Taru hides in the forest to escape from the villagers, and when they leave, he goes again to taste the liquid, and it still tasted like good old fine shake. Thus, it becomes clear that the magical waterfall offered shake only to Taru. That is why others only tasted the water. This incident reached the Emperor of Japan. It was obvious God wanted Taru to have the privilege of being a thoughtful son. The Emperor of Japan also learns about Taru, and he rewards him with 20 pieces of gold. Further, the Emperor of Japan also named the beautiful fountain of the city after Taru. Through this, he wished to encourage all children to honor and always to be obedient towards their parents. Here, in the story that is Taru's reward, it teaches us to be respectful and honor our parents all the time. Ultimately, we will be rewarded for our good deeds. The Emperor of Japan rewarded Taru for being very good and kind towards his parents. This was Emperor's way to encourage all the children to honor and obey their parents. The Emperor heard everything about Taru and he gave 20 pieces of gold to him for his good and kindness. Then the Emperor named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taru. This said that the Emperor was encouraged all children to honor and to obey their parents. Now look at the keywords from the prose Taru's reward. The first one is chopped. Chopped means that is cut into pieces. Chopped means cut into pieces. To cut something with the blow from an axe or other sharp tool. To cut with an axe, to cut into small pieces. To cut into small pieces. The pieces should be even in size. Chopped. To cut into pieces. With the help of the axe, we can cut the wood. Chopped. Next one, cracks. Cracks means narrow gaps. Taru cut the wood with his axe. There he found a crack, a line, a narrow line. That is known as crack. Next one, shake. Shake is a popular Japanese drink. Expensive. Expensive means costly. The Japanese drink is very costly, or you can say yes, the Japanese drink is very expensive. The next one, delicious. Delicious means very tasty. The shake was very tasty. That is known as delicious. Sixth one, pitcher. A pot usually made up of mud. A thing which is made up of mud. That is known as pot. You can name it as pitcher. Next one, tricked. Tricked means deceived. Tricked means to make somebody believe something that is not true. Here in this story, that is, the villagers said that they have been tricked by Taru, that the water is only cold water, it is not shake. Next one, muttering. Muttering means speaking unclearly. A lawyer was, the person who speaks in a lawyer was, that you can say as muttering or murmuring, you can say. Next one, intended. Intended means planned. Intended means planned. Planned according to that. So next one, a reward. Bonus. Reward means bonus. Here in this story, Taru was rewarded by the Emperor of Japan with 20 pieces of gold for his good and kindness. Now look at the moral of the story, children. Taru's reward. We should take care of our parents and elders. God helps only those persons who takes good care of their parents. In this lesson, you have learned that the boy Taru was a good and polite boy who helped his parents and who loved his parents. He was a very kind boy. So for his kindness, God has given only for him the cold water as shake. For all other villagers, it is only the cold water. So for this incident, or for this kindness and good qualities of Taru, the Emperor of Japan rewarded him 20 pieces of gold, and he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taru. This lesson, that is this said that the emperor was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. Those who obey your parents, God will definitely help you, and God will definitely give you what you expect. So children, along with this, I will send you the classwork. You have to learn and write in your classwork notebook. Mention the date, write the title, write the keywords, write it neatly. After completing this lesson, take a photocopy and send it to me. Thank you.